Hello everybody, Corey here. We are going to go over the trades and holdings of the single stock ETFs for 29 May, which was Wednesday. Just a reminder, I am not a licensed investment or financial advisor. I'm just here to gather the data and present it to you so you can have more informed decisions. And reminder that YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky. Please know the risk before investing in these. So let's go to the holdings. So we're going to go straight into the holdings here. We have all of our trades on this tab as well. And let me zoom in just a little bit here for you. Yeah. All right. So anyway, AIYY doesn't have any trades. In fact, let's see. Our first trades are not until we get down to MSFO. That way I don't have to look every single time. So we have AIYY. We have a short call that expires on Friday. So, yeah. Unless I state otherwise, they're going to expire on Friday. That way you don't have to hear me say it each time. But this one expires on Friday with a 26.50 strike price. Last thing I saw this morning, because it had earnings last night, AI did, or C3AI did, that they were at $27. So not sure where we're going to be, but yesterday we were below that 10%. With the possible upside for $1.11 for the short call. Of course, if we can get above that synthetic, that would be awesome. It might boost us up a little more. So looking at that, that's us hoping we get to what, at least 12.50. Is it possible today? We will see, especially if it's coming above the synthetic strike price. But I'd be happy to actually see this one up for once. Checked as I was curious. We're at 26.75 right now, but as soon as the market opens on Thursday, we'll have a better idea here. All right, so let's move on to AMDY. We have two short calls that expire Friday, 170 and 172.50 straight prices. We're underneath those 3 and 4%. Looks like we have about a possible upside of 26 cents for the short calls for this. No trades for today. Of course, we have no trades until MSFO. So, all right, AMZ here. We have two short calls that expire Friday, and I said it again. Sorry. So we have a 182.50 strike price, which are underneath by 48 cents, and a 185 strike price. Since the other one only has 50 contracts, not too concerned about that. But it looks like we have about a 37-cent upside for that 185 strike price. If we move on down to Apple, two short calls here, 190 and 192.50 strike price. We're over the 190 by 29 cents. Not a lot of contracts there, but we have 3,000 contracts sitting at the other one. So maybe about a 15 or so cent upside for that one. Coney here, three short calls, 250, 250, 250, 257, 50. Bitcoin still around 68,000. It looks like the majority of our contracts are split between the 250 and 250 strike prices. So it looks like we have about an upside of 50-something cents maybe for the short calls. But we're currently underneath those 5, 6, and 8%. Dizzo here, we have a short call that expires Friday. 103 strike price, we're underneath that by 2%, currently a 38-cent possible upside for that one. Then we have Phoebe with a 485 strike price for the short call. We're underneath that by 2% with a 43% upside for that one. GDXY, we have two short calls here, 35, 50, and 36. So I'm looking. I don't know. So these, I'm just realizing, are missing the data on the left-hand side. All right, I apologize. Let me go back up real quick, just in case any of you actually wanted that data. I don't know. I've been having issues with Google, which, especially with this workbook yesterday, so lots of things got messed up and moved around. So left hand side, just going to scroll through in case you want to see the correct data on the left side. I say correct, and now I'm looking, and all of the yesterday numbers for the underlying is messed up. In fact, some of the other data is messed up too, so it's very frustrating. But it's weird because when I copy over it, it's right, but no, it's only right on a couple of these. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to look at these real quick. I don't know why. All right. I apologize. I'm not sure why this is acting up. So the left-hand data may not be right. In fact, it may have been more accurate the way it was before, but I'm not totally sure. Of course, it didn't have some of the specific things in there. So there we go. What I'm going to have to do, because some of those did not have the data at the bottom, like this one, for the short call and synthetic, it's because when I copied it, the data wasn't there for it to do, because it was all messed up. So let me at least undid the other stuff, so that all should be right. Let me look for any formulas, any issues, because we had the same issue here. Yeah, starting with Google. And I put those on the wrong lines. There we go. And it looks like all of these are messed up all the way down. Goodness, I'm sorry. There's just so many errors last night, so many issues with Google Finance and everything getting jacked up. So I put it back to before I copied and pasted over data this morning, so the tops would be back right. The bottoms, though, the ones that didn't have that data there, I have now fixed that. So everything should be okay there. All right. So I remember being at Disney, 103 strike price. We're underneath by 2% with the possible upside at 38 cents. So I think, I remember doing that one. I don't remember doing Phoebe. So I apologize if this is a duplicate. But Phoebe, we have a short call, 485 strike price. We're below that by 2% with a 43 cent possible upside. Maybe, I don't know. I remember doing GDXY now, which makes sense because I got down to here, and that's how I saw the formulas messed up. But I don't recall saying on GDXY a possible upside of 40 cents over there, though. So, all right, I apologize for all my technical difficulties here. And the nav is not correct on these either, because that was another issue that I had, and I had to fix that on the daily roundup as well. All right, luckily it just started at GUI. All the rest of the were right, so I just fixed those and all the ones down. So GUI here has a short call strike price of 177.50. We're 1% underneath that with a 17 possible upside there for GUI. JPMO, we have two short calls, $200 strike, $202.50 strike price underneath those 1 and 2%. I don't know, possible upside of maybe, 20, 30 cents over there. It's a little hard to tell with the way those shares are split up there. But if we move on to Murney here, short call of 185, we're underneath that 20%. And then, of course, we got that 185, and we had to pay for closing out the other short call by increasing the strike price on the synthetic. So now now we are 8% below the strike price. And then, of course, because I see that the market value stuff's messed up on that column. So I'm sorry, I don't know which other columns that one might have been messed up on, but I just fixed that. Hopefully, everything's good to go. Of course, everything's right on my template, so you don't have to worry about that. It was this specific sheet where I was having to manually copy in the trades and holdings because Google Finance didn't want to act right last night, which is one of the reasons why videos didn't get done last night. But moving on. Well, I guess the good news for Murny is if it decides to go back up, unfortunately I don't think that it will, we have almost a $4 upside there for the short call. All right, so MSFO here, this is the one that had trades. Okay, so they added 100 to the synthetic position, and when I say 100 contracts, and then they created a new short call with those 100 contracts for which will expire next Friday. So that strike price is $437.50. We're below that one by 2%. And then we have our other short call that expires Friday at $432.50, and we're underneath that one by 1%. We're only looking at about a 16-cent upside here for Microsoft or MSFO. Then we have Misty here. They added 23 contracts to the synthetic and created a new short call with a 17.70 strike price that will expire next week. So now we have 3 different strike prices, 17.20, 17.40, and 17.70, and we're underneath those 6, 7, and 9%, with the majority of the contracts being at the 7.20 strike price, which gives us a possible $1.82 upside for that one, for the short calls. Then we have Nephle. We have no trades. We have 2 short calls, 660 and 662.50. We're underneath both of those by 1%, and it looks like about a 20% possible upside for Nephle. NVIDIA, you can see they had to close out, I guess, where people have been selling out of this, 190 contracts for the synthetic and the short call with the $1,085 strike price. So the 2 short call strike prices we have are 1,080 and 1,085, and they both expire Friday. We're underneath both of those by 6%. So these are bringing the stock price down about $1.80 here. Obviously, no upside available for the short call itself, though the stock price could still be going up if the synthetic market value, does better than, goes up more than the short call market value goes down. So we go on to OARC. No trades for yesterday. 2 short calls, 44.50 and 45 strike price. Underneath those 2 and 3%, about a 37-cent possible upside there. PayPay, they added 80 contracts here to the synthetic and created a new short call that expires next Friday. Both of these are $63 strike prices. We're underneath those 3%. We do have about a 54-cent upside possible for PayPay. Squee here, they added 80 contracts to the synthetic and created a new short call that expires next Friday. This one's a $68 strike price, and this week we have a $68 and a $69 strike price. We're underneath both of those by 4 and 5%. It looks like a possible almost a dollar upside for Squee if it could go up. Tesla here, no trades for Tesla or Zomo. Tesla, 2 strikes, 185, 187.50. We're below both of those, 5 and 6%. We could possibly go up 60 cents for the short to hit the short call strike price there. And then if we go to Zomo here, we have 2 short calls, 114 and 115. We're underneath the 114 by 37 cents. So we only have about a 6-cent upside for Zomo here. And then we have crash with no trades. Let's see, our short put strike price is 172.50. It does expire Friday. And we are above that one by 2% at 176.19. All right. Anyway, hope I do apologize for all of the technical difficulties with Google Sheets and Google Finance and everything, but we did get through it. Again, I apologize. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later, and hopefully it will go better next time.